Hey, it's Mikey Mike. Hey, we are kite surfing in Long Beach. It is January 4th. It's a new year, and we are having a great time. It was a cloudy, stormy day today, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got there early. The winds were up early until about, I don't know, 12, 1 o'clock, and we stayed all day and had some fun. But we got my land stake in here. There is nobody around the beach, so we got to do it all self-contained. So I got my little stake in the ground. Got to turn my camera on, get a little bit of footage for us, and this is the kite cam perspective. And we're gonna do some self-launching here. So I'm rigged down towards the water. Grab the kite and kind of just set and forget. The best way to do this is better than self-launching off the beach, because this way you can check your lines before you go. And we do this a lot of locations like Lake Mojave and a bunch of other locations. Kind of a stake or a car, you know, bolted to your trailer hitch or your car tire or something like that. So kind of get the kite going and run it back to the bar. And make sure you get your safety in first, and make sure all your lines are set. If there's a problem, you can always run back to the kite and land it. We got the chicken loop in, and we're going to launch a kite nice and slow and grab the board and head towards the water. So the winds were up, and I'm on the 11-meter switchblade, the Cabrini switchblade. Yeah, wow, it was blowing like crazy, and the surf was up. That might not look like it right here, but it was. There were some decent waves coming in, so. Yeah, I got worked. Plus, we're going in opposite direction today because it was south winds instead of north winds, which is completely different for Long Beach. Very seldom do you get the reverse winds here. So trying to make it through the surf zone here. And I normally call it the Stingray zone, but it was so crazy surfy. It's the Stingray. I don't think they were even around. I wasn't worried about them that much today, to tell you the truth. I'm sure they're there, but it was very violent right there at the beginning of the shore, so I think they were out a little bit further. So it's a little bit longer video. You know, stick along for the ride if you'd like. Make sure you subscribe and smash that like button if you like what you see. Make sure you subscribe and go along on my kite surfing adventures. Yeah, a lot of fun. We're on the 6.4 GB board here, and trying to make it through the swells. And you can see the swells are pretty tight. Look at, you know, 1 swell, 2 swell, 3 swell. And I'm getting ready to get on the board, and I missed. So I got it back, and then guess what? I get swallowed up. There goes the board. Good night. And I gotta chase the board back to the beach. There it comes. Swallow me up. And I get smashed by another wave right behind it. So I go rescue the board, and then we gotta walk up the beach again. So. There we go. And, you know, once again, it's 10 or 11 in the morning, and we were here for the most part all day with nobody out there. Eventually, one of the kite schools came in with one student, and then my buddy Dennis showed up right at the end, and he was going out foiling for a little while, so that was fun. Like I said, this is an early session with the fog socked in. Rain is kind of drizzling down, and water was pretty warm for the most part. I had gloves on, and I had my goggles on, and they were getting a little foggy. My forward whip goggles. They were really good for keeping the water out of your face, and yeah, that was good, but I ended up getting submerged too many times and I got too much water inside my goggles, so that was no fun. But I'd go back to the beach and I'd clean them out periodically, and it was fine. I think I need a little bit more fog stuff inside the goggle, but other than that, it was good. Like right there, torpedo one. So trying to grab the nose of the board, and the wind it was kind of lulls and gusts a little bit, and I'm grabbing the nose of the board and it's diving under the water, and I'm struggling to keep it up. And then I finally, because I wanted to grab the board so I can make it through the waves, and then I have to go faster, so I need to move it forward. I finally got it up on the surface and then able to start body dragging out the opposite way, which is a little more tricky. Plus the tide, not the tide, but the current was going one direction, that same direction as the wind, so it was making it tricky. So we're up and riding. We got the board going here. I'm struggling a little bit, but we got it going, and all of a sudden we're pumping, and there's 0 whitecaps out, which is not normal for a super windy day, so it makes it a little deceiving. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I guess because it was kind of smooth, and there's swells, but it was kind of smooth. You can kind of see from the kite cam perspective. Not a typical Long Beach session for sure, but had a lot of fun. I was just totally scamming the Kitesurf wind readings, and I'm like, okay, I'm going, because I missed it the last time, and I chickened out basically. But and I think GP was out there and he was having a good time. So this time it's Mikey Mike Session. We're gonna have some fun. And I was having a difficult time, 1, seeing, and 2, getting upwind. I think because I couldn't see very well. It was really foggy, and my lenses were fogged up. I didn't want to take my goggles down at the beginning. It was a little rainy, it was nasty, so the camera was looking pretty good, but yeah, it's all good. So we're getting ready to do a transition here, and I'm working it, and we go overhead and we make the transition, which is awesome. It was a little squirrely, but it still worked out. Makes the transition, and hey, we're moving out. We're having a great time until I crash. So here we go, face full of water. I don't know what happened. The kite almost tacoed itself, and I think I was way too far trimmed in, just pulled in, and the kite backstalled a little bit and kind of almost tacoed on me. But the wind kind of lulled on me, so it was a weird little situation. But we got back on the ride and we're doing good. So we're going to continue on and hope for the best. So a little kite cam perspective there, and you can see I just kind of like hit my butt, and then all of a sudden it kind of overpowered me and I got pulled off the board. Easily get back to the board, and I was able to ride it and continue on. So the fog's lighting up a little bit. You can actually see the shore now. A couple times there, when I first got there, it was difficult to see the shore, the islands, any boat, or anything. So, yeah. But I am kiting with a life jacket, and I didn't get too far offshore, so having some fun. So if you haven't kited Long Beach, make sure you get down there, and a lot of fun. There's all kinds of different disciplines going on. You know, it's for the most part, it's a very, very user-friendly kite surfing beach. Great kite schools out there to take advantage of, to help you learn. I've been doing this about for almost 5 years now, and I'm still learning, but getting a lot better. So hey, if you see anything, you can leave some comments down below. If you can help me out, any tips or tricks, I would totally love that. We got my Garmin watch there. It's going to track my kite surfing. I think I got up to about 20 miles an hour today, so that's about where I normally go, you know, depending on the weather or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, but I was having so much fun. You know, even kiting solo in Long Beach, it's super safe. You're going to make it back to the beach eventually, so it's not too crazy. Especially the side. It was a side onshore, more onshore actually today, from the south, which is really weird. But if you got in trouble, you might end up in the pier, so you got to be careful with that, depending on how far out you were. So just mowing the grass back and forth. Don't do any crazy jumps or anything like that. I had bilateral knee replacement, so brand new knees, and but I'm kite surfing, so I'm having a great time. And once again, the water was pretty warm, not too bad. I don't think I needed the gloves, but definitely helped. Just take the chill off. But yeah, and I was wearing a 3-2 wetsuit, and it was fine. Just my typical wetsuit that I wear normally every day in Long Beach. So trying for another transition here, and trying to move my feet, and get the kite overhead, and then dive the kite and make the transition, which was awesome. So heading back towards the shore. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Check out my kitesurfing adventures, man. This is a lot of fun, and if you haven't started kitesurfing, make sure you do so. Kitesurfing in Belmont Shores and Long Beach is a lot of fun, and all around Southern California and Northern California, or take it that Lake Mojave in Arizona, and yeah, it's so much fun. I'm trying to get out to a couple of the locations if I can ever make it. Work is a little tricky during the week, but hey, yeah. So we're getting back in towards the shore, and the swells are kind of lining up, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna surf a couple of these little swells coming in, and I was looking for one, and trying to line one up, and they're not that big right now, so, but you can see them kind of building a little bit. But that was my focus. I'm like, okay, now I'm coming in. I'm gonna try to, you know, find a little wave and try to surf this thing. And yeah, it wasn't the best. But I tried. Oh, I think we're gonna go off for another run. Okay, so maybe I didn't go get surfing this time. Back up for another run, and then I think we're going to call it the morning session. And then the winds just died, and I had to break out the 14 meter switchblade, and I was struggling on that thing, and the wind just like totally petered out. Was no, it was fun, but you know, it was a workout for sure. A lot of guys just brought their foils out, and a lot of debris in the water. Not crazy debris, because it was coming up from the south. It wasn't coming out of the LA River there, so it wasn't so bad. I think all that debris kind of hung out in the marina area for this for this first session for sure. Yeah, when you got to trim in an 11 meter in Long Beach with, and I was 243 pounds today. It was, you know, I'm not I'm not tall. I'm short and fat is what I am, and I gained 20 pounds over the holidays, which really sucked. So I got to get back on it. But you know, the kite surfing session helps. All right, another transition here. Let's see what happens, and didn't quite make it. So the winds are kind of dying out a little bit, so we want to make it back to the shore. I'm gonna body drag back to the board here. You see it's pretty foggy, but not too bad right now. The rain lightened up and it's starting to clear up a little bit. I think that's why the wind's going away. But yeah, amazing day in Long Beach. It was totally fun. I stayed for most of the day, and then I went and picked up some Volkswagen parts in Long Beach. So I killed two birds, you know, kind of thing. And yeah, it was great. Except the traffic on the way home sucked. It took me about almost 3 hours to get home for almost an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute drive. Rain was killer on the way back. Yeah, that was no fun. But I was out kite surfing and I picked the parts I needed, so that was a win. So we'll show you the, once we get back to the beach here, we'll show you the quick land on the stake again. And yeah, I know it's a little bit long video, but I'm glad you stuck around for the ride. And you know, if you got any comments, make sure you leave some comments down below. This is Mikey Mike, enjoying and having a great time in Long Beach today. I'm trying to find that little swell here to maybe ride a little bit, but one of these days. Here they come, lining up. I'm like, where's it at? Where's it at? And then I caught a little bit of that swell there and rode it in a little bit. And then I didn't want to drag my fins in the sand, so I popped off the board and was able to just kind of walk up the beach. So make it up to the beach, back to the chair. You see how foggy it is. Holy cow, it's crazy foggy. Grab my little beach land stake here, hooked into the chicken loop, and then just slowly land the kite. And wait for the kite to settle a little bit, and then unhook your safety. Don't forget to unhook your safety. I've done that before, and it got, you know, hung up. So get everything all unhooked and run up to the kite. You can see my camera is pretty wet because it's just sprinkling. And turn off my camera. Walk this thing back up the beach here. Yeah, we staged this pretty good. It was right by the water's edge and worked out really well. So quick land and flip the kite over. So that's Mikey Mike. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you on our next adventure. All right, man. Peace. you.